Back to close up shop here on Sun Devil Extra, presented by Spring Hill Suites, Phoenix, Scottsdale. Braiden Bell, joined again by Arizona State Athletic Director Graham Rossini. And we'll dive from football, stay in that realm, but now also merge into spring training, of course, one of the big marquee events that takes place in the Valley year after year. And Kenny Dillingham went out to Diamondback spring training early this week to chat with Torey Lovello and the Diamondbacks squad, spoke in the clubhouse. I know you were there as well. Really cool opportunity for Dilly, right?
It was a lot of fun just to be there for it. And we were at the WM Open a few weeks ago. I got to play in the Special Olympics putting challenge. Coach was there. Torey Lovello was there. And they had a chance to kind of connect. And Zach Gallen was in it. Merrill Kelly was in it. So shout out to a Sun Devil. And then Zach and Kenny ironically played golf in the same tournament last week. And so it was kind of worlds colliding. I think it was destined to happen, but Torey was very excited to have Kenny come out, talk to the team. And that's the fun part of spring training is you get to have different guest speakers come in. And, you know, Torey's well known for the culture that he's built. He's always been big on the concept of love, and it's okay to love the people that you're coaching and leading. And I've always said there's a lot of similarities between how Torey runs the D-backs in the Major League Clubhouse and how Kenny's doing his own stamp of Sun Devil football. So it's just neat to see them interact and kind of be a fly on the wall. And I think Kenny was there for a couple hours yesterday, getting some great time with Mike Hazen, the general manager, Amiel Sade, really talented assistant GM. Ken Kendrick was plugged in as well. So fun morning at Salt River Fields and good to spend a few hours back around some old friends.
Yeah, your worlds were kind of colliding. What was that like for you to be there?
It was great. You know, I'm obviously very proud of my 13 years with the D-backs and stay very close contact with the organization. Derek Hall is our Sun Devil for life. You know, maybe not an athletics alum per se, but a very well-known Cronkite and ASU alum, CEO of the D-backs, and has been a big part of my journey as well. So just great to be around them. And again, there's a lot of the D-backs playbook that we've tried to implement here on family friendliness and affordability and attention to detail and kind of a fans first mindset. And so I just like always finding that pairing of bringing ASU personalities and D-backs personalities together. This was full credit to Torey for inviting Coach to come out and talk to the team, but neat to be a fly on the wall and enjoy that with the group yesterday.
Yeah, you mentioned Derek Hall being the Sun Devil for life of the week. I also wanted to shout him out. He did like a Gen Z type video. I don't know if you saw it on social media. It just came out. So he's speaking in like slang, like brain rot, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah. So he turns around and looks at the field and says, "Slay," or things. Look it up if you haven't seen it. It's excellent.
Hey, he can do some great impersonations. If ask him to do his Tommy Lasorda, he does some good ones. So I'm not surprised that Derek's down with the times.
Yeah, and it popped off on social media.
Slaying on TikTok.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. Yeah, you got to look that up.
Okay.
Closing the note out, and kind of to your point, I thought it was really cool just hearing different interviews, whether it was from Torey or players of the D-backs saying, well, yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to build here is the energy he brings in. It says a lot about not only Kenny Dillingham, but this entire football program that, again, captivated the Valley.
Well, and it's good for the Valley. I mean, we want all the teams in the Valley to be successful, collegiately and professionally. And you look at some of the elite sports cities in America, there's strength in numbers, and there's strength in kind of playing off the tendencies and adopting a personality as a city and not just a university or a single pro team. But we'd love the D-backs to have great success, coming off a World Series not that long ago, get the Suns back in the finals, have the Cardinals competing for Super Bowls. It's only good for the Valley, in our opinion, that we're all connected, we're sharing notes, we're driving great awareness and great experiences for our fans collectively, and everybody in the Valley benefits when that's the case.
No doubt about it. Couple of more sports to touch on and give credit to over this past week. Beach volleyball underway. They were busy all weekend long, of course, in their big tournament to start off the season. Then water polo. How about 2 overtime wins over top 25 programs in a row? They went 3-1 over the weekend as well, and we've talked about water polo before, but a really strong start to their tournament this past weekend as well in California.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned both. And it's funny, we actually had a meeting yesterday with CJ and then Arden from Beach Volleyball. We're just checking in. They're going to represent us on a couple Big 12 initiatives, and nice to have CJ on the show today. He's unbelievable on football. But then Beach, Beach is really, I was talking to Arden about the weekend in Hawaii. They beat number 5 Hawaii, or Hawaii was in the top 10.
Yeah.
And then everybody else were close matches. I don't think the national championship in beach volleyball will be more difficult than what they just experienced in Hawaii. And so coming away with a big win to start the season against Hawaii, but then going head-to-head with UCLA and Stanford and USC, and they really got battle-tested. And to be, again, 10th or 11th in the country, getting that first weekend chance to see what the best talent in America looks like, and then coming back to make those tweaks, as we've talked about a lot on the show, they're only better for the experience, and that's a program on the rise here at ASU. And then water polo, Really excited. I think 16-4 or so out the gate.
Yep.
Hovering around the top 10 as well, and have had a chance to get over to Mona Plummer and watch them compete. And I would now argue I think water polo is one of the more physically impressive sports that we offer. And I was talking to Jake, the strength coach, who does great work with indoor volleyball. He's with swim and dive. He's with water polo as well. And I said, Jake, like, what's the workout program for water polo? Because you need total body. I mean, it's lower half because they're underwater swimming. It's core strength for stability. It's upper body because the way that they're throwing the water polo ball. And he's like, yeah, it's all of it. Like, we need to maximize every minute in the gym because it's head-to-toe physicality in that sport. And the way that they compete, very impressive to see it, and super excited for Coach Party and the start that they're off to.
And like we said, 2 of those went into overtime.
Yeah.
So it's already tough enough in regulation. They had to go to overtime for 2 of their wins over the past weekend. Against,
and for both sports, they start off heavy in these tournaments, and then you kind of get settled in, and you get more in that 1 or 2 games a week cadence. And for both water polo and beach, kind of getting that part of the season where you're more well-rested, you're more established on your rosters, and you just go compete in a more manageable schedule, settling into roles, et cetera. So super excited for both programs, and we'll see where the spring takes us.
Yeah, long way to go in both of those seasons, and of course in all the spring sports season and winding down the winter sports as well. But that just about does it for this week's edition of Sun Devil Extra. Another big thank you to Charlie Regal and CJ Fight for joining us here today, and of course to Graham Rossini for joining us as always. We'll talk to you again next week for another edition of Sun Devil Extra.